The Institute of Heartmath is a wonderful organization that's done a bunch of scientific research about heart-brain coherence. And what they have found using magnetocardiograms and heart rate variability measurements is that the heart is the most powerful biological oscillator in the body. It is the metronome by which every other cell remains in rhythm, right? So within the body, which has so many different components, all of which are synchronized in these miraculous ways and all communicating with each other in all these different patterns, the heart is that primary metronome. The heartbeat is the thing that sets the tone and puts out the vibration, and thereby everybody else knows what to do. So we got some definitions of coherence, and so there's a psychological aspect to it. There's the synchronization between multiple systems, a constructive waveform produced by two or more waves that are phase or frequency locked. Phase locked. That's when all those metronomes get together like this, that's phase lock. They're locked together, and the more locked they are, the more locked they become, right? It's really difficult to break out of it. You need a big external event to disrupt that flow. And then ordered patterning within one system, an ordered or constructive distribution of power content within a single waveform. It's like a sine wave. So those are very concrete definitions of coherence. And so physiological coherence is characterized by high heart rhythm coherence. So it's a sine wave like pattern. And we'll look at these graphs on the next page to see the difference between a sine wave and what's not a sine wave. Physiological coherence is defined by increased parasympathetic activity, right? Nervous system on rest and digest, as opposed to fight, flight, freeze. Or fawn is the fourth one of those, right? And we've got increased entrainment between physiological systems. So the heart's talking to the liver, is talking to the gallbladder, is talking to the GI tract, is talking to the colon, is talking to everything else, right? So they're all communicating efficiently, where most disease, cancer being the greatest example, this is just miscommunication in the body. A cancerous tumor just literally doesn't know that it's part of a larger body. And so it just starts eating up all the resources available to it because it thinks it has to survive on its own. And so if we can just reestablish healthy communication channels, then that doesn't need to go that way. So efficient, harmonious functioning of the cardiovascular, nervous, hormonal, and immune systems. And so really Heartmath is all about coherence between the heart and brain, because the heart and the brain are the two most powerful biological oscillators in the body. The heart wins by a long shot, but the brain is also powerful, obviously. And so what we want is not for either one of them to win necessarily, but we want them to be in smooth, efficient communication. So there's a couple ways that this happens. The nervous system works. There's little pulse waves. That's biophysical communication. We can look at that in the pulsing of the heart and blood circulation. We've got biochemical communication in the form of hormones, right? It's not often recognized that the heart is an endocrine gland as well. It's not just a pump, right? It's not just a muscle. And there's also energetic communication through the electromagnetic field, which the heart generates. So the amplitude of the heart's electrical field is 60 times that of the brain. The amplitude of the heart's magnetic field is 5,000 times that of the brain. So again, these two things arise inextricably, right? The electricity and magnetism are inseparable. But we can see that the heart is by far the largest generator. And so we are wise to attune to the heart as opposed to the inconsistent brain, right? And so this is why in meditation, when we started, right, because most of us are up here, we're thinking, we're looking, we're watching, we're listening. There's a lot happening up here. And so can we pull that energy in and drop it down into the heart and let it rest in that heart center, because there's a much stronger container for it there. And it's less exhausting to operate from this powerful place, as opposed to this where it's like, it's electricity, it's charge, we need a lot of energy to, the difference between launching into outer space versus staying in orbit. It's a huge difference in energy output, right? Staying in orbit is all but effortless because you got that spin, you got that gravitational pull on your side. But to launch out, to send energy out through your eyes, all this attention, like, oh, I got to go over there, and then coming in and all this, that's a lot of energy. Huge difference in energy output and intake. So this is why we want to be generally, and so, I mean, the beauty of this is it's already in our language. It's already out there in terms of living from the heart. Oh, it comes from the heart. And we have this encoded into our understandings quite intuitively. I just find it really helpful to know exactly what we're talking about and why it's of benefit, and to act upon it as such and take it very, very seriously, because it makes a huge difference. Look at the difference in these waveforms. On the left here, this is heart rate variability, which, like, your Apple Watch measures for you, or like my Whoop strap will measure heart rate variability. And so what they did is they measured these when people were in sincere states of frustration versus sincere states of appreciation. And which ride do you want to be on? I guess it depends. Some people are thrill seekers and all, but which is more efficient? Which seems to move according to the law of maximum efficiency, of minimum effort, right? That the rest of nature flows with, right? And same on the other side. This is the magnetocardiogram measurement of frustration versus appreciation. And so, we can tie a lot of this in with like Dr. Emoto's work with the structure of water, and how if you yell angry words at your water, it gets this funky shape to it, where if you just write the word love on your water bottle, it has this nice crystalline structure. This is the same sort of thing. And again, which one of these frequencies is more likely to create beautiful cymatic structures, right? If this is a wave and cymatics is how things take shape, which one of those looks more likely to create a structure that you want to live in? And I'm just going to assume your answer is the same as mine, right? So that's Heartmath, and that points us to the importance of attuning to the heart as our primary meditation point, as our primary resting place, a place from which we can operate with minimum effort, maximum efficiency, and greatest impact, greatest power. That's the sort of paradox of it, is by settling into that heart space, we have access to literally 5,000 times more power than that of the brain. And we can be at the center of the field, sitting in the peaceful, calm eye of the storm while everything swirls around us. So in a world that is so chaotic, I very much want to be at the center of my own bubble, and be able to then have the best opportunity to choose which vibrations I'm going to match and which I'm going to let in. So that's the topic of section 10.